Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, grasshoppers. Yes, we do have time for coffee, and I may run for it. And let's cross our fingers that they don't start without us, right? Exactly 3 minutes. Let's do it. I'll be right back. Like we made it by a miracle, although we didn't do an assessment on what we needed to get accomplished. That was good. Does this really do exactly what we thought? Druganot, good morning. Welcome, everyone. That was a very good coffee run. Are they really playing it this way? Very interesting. Let's just put this one on this diagonal because we can. And we're going to fix this pawn on this square. And of course, if he had stream sniped me, he could have played bishop to c7 because I had pre-moved c takes d4, as it turned out. And that's never a good sign, by the way. So for those of you who haven't noticed, we are sponsored by the amazing publisher Chess Informant.
Check out the best of the best. Chess Informant Prize winners and candidate games chosen by a jury of titled players from 1966 onward.
I am trying to sneak up on this particular pawn, by the way. My opponent may well earn a draw. Possibly rook to c8 was the simplest move available at that moment. But e5 square is a little bit weak. So now my opponent is trying to and what can he do? We can trade. Yes, it's true. He might be gaining another, but it's true. Do we wish to weaken this? Let's go after our d4. It looks good. That b4. This is pinned. He has this. I have that. And we do have to be very, very mindful of what could be going on in this position. Can he capture this? Does it make a difference? I don't think so. What? Interesting. Interesting. So, am I going to pay the full price for this particular line? Am I? It's true. It is true. D6. Oh, he has bishop e5. That's a little bit of a bother. So we should fight for that square. Our knight on the 5th rank is worth a lot more than his bishop on f3 at the moment. And our king is inside the square of the pawn for the time being. And now we can play just what we wanted. Or do we just annoy him as we wanted? I don't see what he's up to here. looks like a freebie. Wow. He gave away all of his pawns. All of his pawns. Just like that. We go from a position where we're down a pawn to one in which we are up a pawn. Hard to believe. Now, how are you going to stop us from taking this pawn? It's interesting. All right, you are correct. I was expecting him to have the opportunity to play something along those lines. Along those lines. Yep. That was fascinating to go from a position where you are down a pawn to one in which you are up a pawn. In the end game, no less. That's how strong that knight was. It was quite crazy, in fact. This is a cup of matcha, as the coffee was not readily made downstairs. We opted for matcha. Tomorrow we will have an alternative poster for the wall. We may switch it out periodically. Let's give him some light. Ding and Gukesh. The office is almost ready for some prime time publishing development as we get the last of our textbooks in place. Don't know what happened to the chat there, but We are simul streaming on Kick. I believe there are a couple of OG channel badge spots left. C'est la vie. So who are we watching here? We're watching Lions CCR, as he has allowed a bit of an invasion, but he is up a rook. He should have tried to trap that queen appropriately. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. And now there is a trappage of a piece. A good win by CCR. He is a bright young man, working hard on his basics and fundamentals to get better. And now we have the matchup. Are we going to give him the chance? Yes. And we're going to get an F4 in. We're going to play something very, very unusual. Wow. He answered with E5. Still not entirely convinced that was the right way to go about it. Interesting. Moving the same piece twice in the opening A. Interesting again. Forcing us onto the attack. Unfortunately, not every attack is worth it. Now for something completely indifferent. We are having a lot of fun. Here is he. Bishop takes, pawn takes, knight takes. I do have to watch out. It does have some counterplay. This is a student event. Wait a minute now. B4, bishop takes B4, C3. Nah. Is this hanging? Is there something else going on? There is something else going on, it seems. He's got knight to D5. Up in material. So let's just look at this. So if knight takes D5, all right. Oh, I forgot I berserked. He has me here. I should not have done that. Should not have done that. I should not have berserked. Can we survive this? I do not know. Can I survive this? We'll find out soon. We'll find out soon. Starting to look okay. Starting to look okay. I shouldn't have fooled around. I should have mated him. Good job, Colt. I shouldn't have fooled around. Do not berserk. It happens. Should not have fooled around. I wanted a pawn mate. I wanted a pawn mate. I can't tell you how many times trying for a pawn mate has cost me. It's craziness. I was trying for a pawn mate. Not good. Not a good idea. We had, of course, the very simple checkmate in one instead of pushing our pawn with check. For those of you who were not watching, in this position, we had checkmate in one, which I had to take. I didn't have time to fool around. Do not berserk. That's all there is to it. Also, do not try for pawn mates when you have less than 10 seconds on your clock. Just take care of business. Less than 10 seconds with no increment, no less. Absolutely uncalled for. Is Michael playing? I don't know that we've ever played. Nope, we've never played. But he is giving it a shot against Tiger A, one of our more successful students. A little late to the dojo, of course, but at least he's there. I better check my schedule here. Today, we do have a lesson immediately after, as it turns out. Oh, my opponent berserked in a 5+5. I think the intended application of this arena is already speaks for itself to a certain extent. And now for something completely different. Let's just get everyone into gear here. Let's see what he has in mind for me. Could be trying to trap my queen. Trap my queen. Trap my queen. Let's keep it up, just in case. Yeah, we don't berserk here, unfortunately. This is a rapid and classical arena. We do give people the option of berserking, as I have given young students a chance to beat me. When the rating point differential is 1,000 points, then it would be kind of anyone to berserk in that particular case. Oops. But he may have some compensation for this. Obviously. Let's just keep developing. We're not going to get too far out of hand. That's interesting. Where are you headed, sir? Where are you headed, sir? Maybe we'll get another double attack just when we wish to get it. What do we have? What will it do to us? Where can we go? Really? Yeah, that was not a good sign. Small recovery now. We do need to play more rapid. Maybe some rapid arenas in our near future. Gives us an hour or two. What's going on here? Uh-oh. I don't have it. That's very interesting. How did she not get invited to this meeting? Arg. Alright, we only have a few minutes. Let's just keep it up. Okay, not join. Maybe that makes sense in this case. Standard Tarish with E3 on the 6th move. This is kind of them. Now we have an isolated pawn couplet. But we do have to, interestingly, go for it now. Go for it now. Maybe we can grab some space here. Who knew what we would plan on getting? Can't let a knight on the 5th rank live. What? I'm not up a piece or anything like that. I mean, admittedly, the queen was going to run into some technical difficulties. After e takes d5, bishop f6, and if queen takes d5, I had a wide variety of choices. The simplest of which I was considering, let's just make sure of it, I was considering queen takes d5, e d5, bishop d6, and then just surrounding this pawn later. Securing the b file for my rook, etc., and we have a protected pass pawn. I don't think we have enough time to play another game, so therefore I'm going to let Dragonaut catch up. Tiger A is playing CCR still. That's good. I was very lucky against Dragonaut. Could have actually put up a better fight. Let's go back and look at that opening again. This is a standard opening setup. In fact, the terrace defense leads to so many structures that you must know, whether it's C3 Sicilians, French defenses, Carocons. Basically, the terrace defense also results in Nimzo Indians, a variety of semi-terrace and Queen's Gambit and Queen's Indian structures, all regarding whether or not these two hanging pawns are worthwhile. Certainly c takes d4 was on my high list. So we've now transposed to the official bishop to b5. There are only 2 or 3 ways to deal with this terrace defense. Basically after cd5, ed5, e3 on the 6th move. And apparently bishop e2 or bishop to b5 are the only ways to go. I've seen people play a3 though, preparing to play d takes c5 when this bishop moves, so that after d takes c5, a3 and b4 occur. And so many games over time have been in this position as black. Let's just take a look at the names. Oh, not our names. Silly. Yes, we have a good percentage here. But in general, black has the most difficulties after bishop to b5. At the master level, I'm surprised that I don't see a3 played a little bit more often. I think it was played in the last century a little bit more often. In any event, after bishop to b5, bishop e7, d takes c5 is usually the standard move. After castling, and I castle, bishop takes c6 is a little dubious because it clarifies the pawn structure. Now I know exactly what I want to do. Queen a4 is the logical follow-up, tagging my weakness on c6. I could understand b3 and bishop to b2 as well. However, my opponent played rook to e1 and then bishop g4 tends to overwork the center. They blindly, I repeat, blindly played e4, not realizing that all of this was going to be somewhat forced. And queen to d3, best move. Queen to d1, second best move. Queen to d2, right in the mix. However, after queen e5, d4, life gets a little sketchy as this knight needs to transfer itself toward the king side. I was very tempted in this position just to win a piece, or try to win a piece with the move e3. And after knight g3, I'm not winning a piece, as it turns out, because of my bishop. And after bishop d6, queen c3, bishop takes g3, I no longer have it because the queen is sitting on c3. So I'm glad I didn't go for it. I could see myself accidentally going for it after knight e2. So needless to say, knight takes d5 ended up with a relatively quick resignation. That was unfortunate. Dragonaut. Oh no, he's never beaten me. Is that why? A little despondent, perhaps. Is Dragonaut catching up? Not today. He may not even be here anymore. No, he left. Oh, he's back. All I can say for Dragonaut is that he should be watching and trying to determine all of my weaknesses through my YouTube instructionals. There's so many good YouTube instructionals where you need to try to find the best move for yourself, the active and interactive participation of learning. There's no way that another game is going to manage here. CCR is now playing his last game. Tiger A is also paused out, so I feel less guilty there. We have a lesson starting in a little over 7 minutes, so we have to get ready with the Zoom client. I feel terrible about giving such a last-minute warning, but I thought it was already here. How about if we duplicate this one? That's what I really need to do, is I need to duplicate this one. Duplicating Zoom meetings. Let's check out Cole's game versus YFC. So far, so good. I do believe in knight f6, and Cole missed the opportunity to play knight takes e4. This move, I have to give a double question mark. It is not that good. Basically, there are only 4 moves in this position that are really any good. Knight to g5 being the most aggressive, going for that attack on f7. d4 in the form of a Scotch gambit, depending on whether you castle or if you play e5, d5, bishop to b5, and then knight e4. Or if you, in this particular position, choose the grandmasterly way of playing d3, which is also not necessarily so optimal. As it turns out, the opponent chose none of those and went for the weakest of the options. I know that many people like to castle in this position. That also possibly gambits a pawn. So, queen e2, yuck, right? Bishop c5. Have the masters castled. And after knight takes e4, black is better. Yeah, bishop to d5 is just too much. Knight f6, bishop c6, d c6, knight e5, queen, bishop e6, bishop d6, and castles. So that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, the e4 pawn is being attacked, and Cole...
How's it going?
You should be playing this. Good morning, Jerry Goose. I was just about, unfortunately, to draw things to a close, as it turns out. I realize now why I can't do...
Is your webcam froze?
Is my webcam frozen? It is. You know why it's frozen? It is frozen because I started to open up a Zoom meeting. Let's see if that frees it up at all. Or, thank you for the heads up. We can actually enable the secondary camera just in case while I try to fix the first camera. Quite the lovely, so deactivate, activate, and now we're back.
You just analyzing random games in your arena?
Well, Lion's CCR is a young student of ours, and he did not spot a very basic tactic, the reason why knight c3 isn't supposed to work. But for those of you who really want to make knight c3 work, then castling and knight takes c3, d takes c3 is the way to go, and we have now what is called the Boden-Kizaritsky gambit of sorts. But we have the inclusion of these two knights.
Making it a Stafford for white LOL.
Exactly. And believe it or not, it's not good for white, even a pawn up. Can you imagine that this is worse for white and we're a pawn up? A move up, I mean. And we're a move up. You know the Stafford gambit is bad when you can be and have an extra move.
Well, better than the minus 2.3 from the Stafford.
That's right, Jerry Goose. Exactly. Absolutely. Craziness. So, unfortunately, as black in this particular position, the vast majority of players do not play the best move, which is f6. And then white usually must continue with trying to generate some counterplay. I do like the idea of b4, by the way. However, the traditional answer is knight h4, g6, f4 to try to strip black clean of his shelter before he can get his pieces developed. And I agree that this has a lot of compensation. But black is practically winning. How did Marius Chakuta not win this? Did he not play knight to g5? Did he not play bishop e3, trapping the rook in the corner? Right? You may think you're out of it, but there's more where that came from. Alright, I do need to do a little bit of a channel thing. And I don't think I have enough to raid, so I want to thank everyone for being here. Jerry Goose, namaste. I love the fact that you're on kick for the TTS. That is priceless. I am going to try to do an opening sequence, not unlike what Botez's and Nemsko have for the main page, the starting page in the place of the credits.